in the NFL world, you don't have to be an agent. You don't have to be an attorney, but you have to have a graduate degree. And for most people, they satisfy that graduate degree requirement with a law degree.
Back at it again, the Photo Culture Podcast. I go by the name Exotic Rose. I have my co-hosts Mitch and Lisa Marie. And today we have a special guest, the Prince in the Hood, Chris Cabott. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good. Good to be here. How's everybody?
We're good. We're doing good. Great.
You know, 2020 been a crazy year with COVID and everything like that. I wanted to start from the beginning. So, where are you from? Well, actually, I know where you're from. You're from Philadelphia, Philly, right, or no?
We're outside of Philly, an hour west, a little place called Coatesville in Chester County.
Okay, so how was it growing up over there in Philly? Like childhood to going to high school, how everything was?
Yeah, it's a blessing. I was raised by two amazing parents, Don and Sandy Cabott, who were king and queen of my life. My mom and dad, both incredible, hardworking, blue-collar folks that did everything they could to give the children a better chance at life. And I'll always have a debt of gratitude to my mom and dad. And they taught me values. They taught me work ethic. They taught me everything, really, that I had ever needed for life as an adult.
And no brothers, sisters, no? Did you get only child?
Oh, only. Yeah, Christopher and Christina. My mom liked the name Chris. She felt like it was the root of Christ bearer. So there was some biblical faith affiliation there.
Okay, Christian. The whole family you were raised off to be a Christian, or?
Yeah, we went to church on Sunday. We went to Mass, Catholic church, which was more tradition than faith, more than anything. So for me, my faith journey kind of came on my own as a young adult into my current years. But I first felt the power of God when I was in my early teens and recognized that voice and how that kind of got at things in my life. And last year at 40 years old, I had a little bit of an epiphany. I thought to myself, you've always preached faith and you've always lived by that, but you've never read the word. And there's some hypocrisy in that. So for the last year, I've been reading the Bible cover to cover, and that's been a really rewarding experience.
Okay. Yeah. So I was raised in the Christian household too. And as a young age, I had I guess like you said, I had difficulties in like I used to always be that kid that always questioned, I always ask questions. So I would ask questions like, who wrote the Bible? A man or so I used to always ask questions like that. And I had difficulties with my faith and everything like that. But as I got older, I reconnected and everything like that. So did you have to deal with anything like that as growing up, or you was good with your connection with God?
It was just me. It was just me. Really, it was just me living in faith and seeing God's power around me and everything like that. But when I talked about hearing the voice of God, when I was 14, we thought we were going to lose our home. And I just kind of had this resounding instruction that said, help people make a difference. And in my 20s, I accepted that as the voice of God. So I think from that point on, no matter what happened in life, highs, lows, adversity, success, I accepted that as God.
All right. And then, so you did cross country and track. So what was this in college or was this in high school?
I ran in cross country and track because it didn't cost anything. So I did that. I did that in high school, and then in college, I ran for a little bit, but I realized that wasn't going to be the rest of my life. So I went ahead and started to focus more on my career.
What did you do? Because I did track too. I did the 4x1. I was a sprinter.
Yeah.
I did cross country and track. My shortest event was once I ran a quarter, but it was primarily 2 mile. I was a slow foot speed guy. So.
Okay, you was the stamina guy. I was the sprinter.
Yeah, that's cross country.
I wasn't. I'll tell you that. I ran a quarter once at 56.7. That was my fast quarter.
Oh no!
Guys are clowning me, laughing at me, but you know what it is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I can't run at all whatsoever. I make it to my mailbox before I'm out of breath, so I'm definitely not the one.
There you go.
All right. So then, you also was into the entertainment field at one point with Jimmy Rollins. So how did that go about? You went to college and you did that after, right?
Sure. I went to college. Again, going back to when I was 14 years old, voice of God. How can I help help others make a difference. I thought I could do that as an attorney. And then my father was an artist, drawing and painting and photography. He couldn't monetize that, so he worked in a steel mill. And in steel, you trade hours for dollars. And I thought to myself, if I could help people make a difference, work with folks with God-given talent, and I found a passion and pureness in sports. From running, the harder I worked, the better I got. The Lord gave me bony right leg, bony left leg, but one from the other, and I worked hard. And when I worked hard, my times got better. And music was such an early attraction to me because we couldn't afford anything else. So radio was a big thing for me. Growing up outside of Philadelphia, going to bed at night, listening to Quiet Storm and stuff like that. I mean, like, those were the things that I grew up on. I thought I was the fourth member of Jeudy when I was a kid. But I was really blessed. I found a mentor named Lloyd Remick, who will always be my professional father. Always owe a tremendous gratitude to. And Lloyd had been an agent in the 80s and 90s, and he got away from it. Was focused on entertainment law. So I'm an entertainment attorney by trade. I've been blessed to have over 100 gold and platinum records to my name. Worked on 5 distributed films, countless TV shows. And then I started to work with Jimmy, as you mentioned. He was a baseball player who was doing a lot of music. And I was doing his legal work. And I thought to myself, if God wants me to help people make a difference, I can do it more proactive as an agent. So I started an agency, and things grew.
If you can, what songs have you been involved with in, like, top songs?
Many. So on the Rollins catalog, it's the Jimmy Rollins Entertainment Group. We flipped from a record company to a publishing company, and Jimmy Rollins Entertainment Group co-publishes Snoop Dogg's Sexual Eruption, Justin Bieber's.
Wow, yeah.
Okay.
Wow, it's big, man.
DJ Fiasco, The Show Goes On, Drake's Hyper, Drake's From My Dead Body, Mary J. Blige's 25-8, Wiz Khalifa and Tiger's Molly, Justin Timberlake and Jay-Z's Suit and Tie, Zendaya, Replay. So yeah, there's some good copyrights in the catalog.
That's awesome.
Okay. So streaming is good for you right now.
So we're on the publishing side. Obviously, there are publishing income streams attached to streaming, but the reality of it is that music is being consumed on a larger global basis now through subscription models. As a result of subscription models, there's a longer tail of revenue, which benefits all rights holders.
Okay. And I know you say you was involved with that song with Snoop Dogg. Did you ever meet Suge Knight or no? No. So you looking like you don't even want to deal with him.
I didn't want to. No comment.
Suge's time with Snoop was way before we did that. We did that deal in 2009.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, that makes sense. All right, and then did you always want to be a sport agent? Like, because I know you said you went to school for entertainment and law, but
I did. You know, I remember kind of takes me back to the outset of the show. When I was a kid, I used to work at this grocery store outside of Section 8 project in a group home. I would run over after track practice. And one night, and that community was so supportive of me, Coachville, Pennsylvania, I'll always be in debt to for gratitude. I'm saying that a lot, and I'm very thankful to the believers in me. And there was a guy who would come to my line every night. One of the last people when I'd be closing up every night. He always buy a little something. And one night he looked at me, he's like, "Chris, you're like the Prince of the Hood, man. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I looked him dead in the eye and I said, "I want to be an entertainment attorney and a sports agent." He was like, "You go, Chris." In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, that's not happening. I don't know anybody. I don't have any money. I don't have any contacts, et cetera, et cetera. But by the grace of God and a lot of hard work, all things are possible. And again, I owe so much to mentors in my life. Again, Lloyd Remick, my mentor on the entertainment side, and Lee Steinberg, who's been an instrumental father figure to me on the sports side. So I've just been blessed that God's put great people in my life.
And then you also started a sport academy, right? No, agent academy.
Yeah, so long story short there, in 2013, I expanded from the East Coast to the West Coast, growing things in entertainment and sports. And when I got out there, I was introduced to Lee. And Lee was reforming Steinberg Sports. And when we got together, one of the first things that I recognized, within him is that there's this godfather figure of this industry. And from teaching some courses in sports law at Temple back in the day, I've had so many students in my class who want to be agents, but they didn't know how to become one, and they were getting academics even for my sports law class, but nothing skill training. So Lee had taught some courses at Chapman Law School, obviously this prolific career. I had started a workshop series with A&Rs in the record industry, and when we got together, I said, you know what, we can combine all of this. So we started the Agent Academy, and the Agent Academy is basically a workshop boot camp type style that teaches skills to help people get started and further and grow their agent business. And kudos to our Vice President, Julia Farron, who is one of the best executives I've ever worked with. Julia has really lit that Agent Academy on fire. We used to take it city to city, but now with the pandemic, we've done it all online, all virtual. And I've got to tell you, I think we're touching more lives than ever. So I'm ecstatic about the future of the Agent Academy, and I'm so privileged to work with Lee on that, and so honored to work with Julia on that as well.
Shout out to Julia. She's great.
Shout out to Julia.
Shout out to Julia.
Shout out to Julia.
You also have Pat Mahomes and Jerry Jeudy and Tua under your belt. I know Jerry Judy's brother. I grew up. Well, I kind of. Yeah, I know Terry. Yeah, Terry. So we go way back. So next time you see him, just bring up my name, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know him." So yeah.
Terry and I are going to the game together this weekend. I love Terry.
Yeah. So I haven't talked to him in a while. I haven't seen him in a while because he went to Orlando, and then I don't know where he's at now, but I haven't seen him and talked to him in a while. But next time you see him, just bring my name up. That's good. I see that Jerry's at the Broncos. You got Pat Mahomes just won a big time deal. You're doing a great job, man.
Now God's doing a great job. I'm a servant. I'm a chess piece in God's chessboard. Literally, I'm just blessed to work and do things with great people and be a servant leader. So all praise to God and all praise to the families and athletes we're blessed to work with.
I agree.
Amazing. So awesome.
That's really good.
I did want to bring up this too. I'm not sure if you remember. I think it was like a year ago or 2 years ago, where Richard Sherman said that he don't need an agent. What was your thoughts on that?
I think that the agent industry has changed in many ways. There was a time where the agent industry was essentially just negotiating contracts, but in today's day and age, we're career managers. And the reality of it is, in our core services, we offer 24 core services. Obviously, contract negotiations part of that. Endorsements, marketing, brand management, brand growth, creative content, content creation, media, PR, foundation setup, foundation give back, charity and community, second career planning, etc. Game day experience, game day concierge, family concierge. So there are so many things that we do. I think to Richard's point, and there are some agencies that are kind of stuck more in that older model of more so just being an attorney. But I think what we do more than anything is we add value. And from the 3% fee cap that we have with the NFLPA, I think that we grow careers exponentially, and it pays for itself. It's something I always say to folks: a trade, one spot in the first round of that draft pays 4 times what you would pay in agent commissions. So it pays for itself. And then when you just look at the career in general, when you think about a career span being getting drafted, making money off the field, great veteran contracts, and then second career planning, the value that we add is exponential to a career. And I think if you're an athlete and you're not in that sort of agency family that's adding value to your career, then I could see why you might be disgruntled about that.
Yeah, so that's probably what he was going through. When I was doing research on like what agents do, I didn't know it goes that deep. Like you just explained, because I thought like an agent, a sport agent, was like the old mindset of how things were done back in the past. So while I'm doing research, I was like, wow, I did not know you guys do all this. I didn't even know you guys watch film.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Derek Gilbert's quarterback client of ours. He's on the Browns, and maybe 20 minutes ago, Garrett and I are texting about when we'll be watching practice film together next week. So it's all encompassing. And our model is a little different. Our model, Lee and I created this company from rebirth in 2014 and really build it up brick by brick by brick with our amazing staff. And what we wanted to do is provide more services than any other firm, and at the same time provide intimate attention.
So, question, to be an agent, do you necessarily have to be an attorney, or is it just an added benefit in a sense because you know a little bit more?
You're in the NFL world, you don't have to be an agent. You don't have to be an attorney, but you have to have a graduate degree. And for most people, they satisfy that graduate degree requirement with a law degree. But you can have your MBA and be fine.
Okay. That's good to know.
That's pretty cool to know.
All right. I know you have to go, so I have a lot of more questions for you, but I guess we'll have to schedule something else, like some later on, but we have more time. But this will be my last question. So, what was your thoughts on the whole Dak Prescott contract negotiation with Jerry Jones when you seen what was going on? Because a lot of people was like, this is kind of Jerry Jones' fault. He should have been signed him.
Well, I'll say this to you: having been on the inside of negotiations on a number of athletes over the years, there's so much that goes on that doesn't reach the public eye. And I realize that we have a lot of perspective and everything like that. What I can say is that I firmly believe on both sides that there are probably good faith efforts to get a long-term deal done. And somewhere in the privacy of that relationship are reasons that it didn't. So obviously he's a great quarterback. He has great representation. He's on a great team that's led by great leadership. So I feel pretty strong that everybody made good faith effort there. And the deals are never done. A negotiation's never done until it's done. So I'm sure they're still having some conversations there. But, exciting year ahead for Dak and the Cowboys, and I'm sure they'll be in a good place.
All right. And then just one more question. In your experience, when players go through that, because I heard Shannon Sharp say that it leaves a bad taste in players' mouth, like when that happens, what Dak is going through. Is that true or no?
There's an old saying that people forget what you say, but they don't forget how you make them feel. And I think that in any relationship, it's important to manage the relationship and manage the personnel. Chuck Daly used to say he could yell at John Sally because Sally wouldn't be impacted by it. Maybe other players on the team would be. So sometimes when he was trying to motivate other players, he would direct it towards John Sally. Again, I'm not on the inside of that situation, but I think just in general in life, that's something to remember. And, obviously Shannon's experiences were unique to him, but it seems like Dak and the Cowboys have a good thing going. So I'm sure everybody's treating each other with respect.
All right. Thank you for coming on. I know you have to go, and thank you for coming on, I guess. Yeah. So we'll talk later.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
For culture.